Your turn, Reborn.
What is up, guys? It's AlintheaYoh coming here to a discussion today about Monster Reborn, Monster Card that has had a bit of a rough history, let's say, with the ban list. So, Monster Reborn, very simple card, spell card, target one monster, you need the player's graveyard, special summon it. It's that simple. You know, often cards that have that simple of effect but are powerful are always going to be destroyed on the ban list simply because of what they do. This is a simple effect, it's no cost, it's very powerful, it's going to be abused. So the history of Monster Reborn is it was limited since the beginning of the game. Since 2003 it was limited because it was that much of a powerful card. Even then and even now it is still powerful. It was first banned in 2004 in September, and then it was limited for both the OCG and the TCG because we were sharing lists then still. In March 2008, we got it back in 2008. Then it was banned in 2009 in September. Then it was limited in 2010 in September. And then for the TCG, because we split ban lists at that point with the OCG, it was then banned in September 2013. Now you might be thinking, why has this card been going one non, one non, one non? Well, from what I understand, I believe that this is one of the creator's favourite cards ever, and I think he quite liked it and wanted it to be playable, but I don't think that was the sole reason, I don't think that was the only reason, but I think that just a bit of intel, inside intel, I believe that was the rumour and I believe that is correct. But it is a card that is just very simple, and no matter what happens in the game, as long as monsters are relevant, which they always will be, unless you are playing a deck like Burn, Monster Reborn is always going to be a good card. Now, if we look at Monster Reborn in 2018, what will Monster Reborn do and what is the impact that it will have? Well, I think Monster Reborn is going to be a staple card in pretty much every single deck. The only comparable card that we have right now with Monster Reborn is Soul Charge. So let's look at both of them side by side. Soul Charge, you all know. Target up to however many monsters in your, up to 5 obviously, monsters in your graveyard, and you can special summon them, pay 1,000 life points for each card that was summoned. So that's pretty good, right? But the problem with that is that you can't have your battle phase. Whereas Monster Reborn is just a simple free card, you can activate it whenever you want, no cost, bring a monster back in either player's graveyard. So the benefit of that is obviously you have access to both graveyards. Soul Charge, you can access only your graveyard, but you have multiple ones, but then you do pay 1,000 life points, and then you do obviously have to skip your battle phase. Putting them side by side, it is very difficult to compare them as a unit, because they do completely different things. While they bring cards back from the graveyard, they go in different decks, you could say. If you really want to pit them against each other, Soul Charge should be used as a controlling combo deck, and Monster Reborn can be used in that and also anything else. Because if you have an aggressive deck and you have Soul Charge and you activate it, you're kind of skipping the whole point of your deck. You want to be aggressive, but you can't have your battle phase, and you're obviously getting rid of your life. So sometimes there will be glass cannon decks that you'll see Monster Reborn used in mainly. Monster Reborn's history is just good. It's always been a good card, as I said, and I think it will always be used. Now, if you look at the decks that are in the meta now, obviously the meta is a little bit shaken up because obviously Spiral's got hit, Pendulum Magician's got hit, Trickstars are still there, and just everything else that's going to be coming out in the future. Admittedly, I'm not totally up to date on the mass amount of cards that are coming out in the future in the next sets, but I will be looking at them inevitably. Monster Reborn is a card that you'll see often, all the time. Like, I don't see why you wouldn't be seeing it, because it is just that good. Taking one of your opponent's monsters from their graveyard that they might be using is really good. If you are playing a mirror match, for example, and they have gone first, they've got a monster in their graveyard you need to use, I'll just use that for my combo pieces. Links as well, it's a free link card, a free link monster that you can just say, oh, you know, I can't go into that Firewall Dragon, or I need an extra one for that Decode Talker, or for the Skull Beat Dragon, I need another name. Monster Reborn, there you go, there's another monster. So, for Lynx, it's a very good card. For Synchros, it's a very good card. For Xyz, it's a very good card in general. Now, do I think Monster Reborn is in danger of getting hit again, being banned, like you will see from its very colourful history of being limited instantly, then bans, limited bans, limited bans. Now, let's not forget, the OCG have had Monster Reborn limited since, I think, 2010. We broke off from that list in 2013, and they've still had it. Now, I think Monster Reborn has been fine to come back. I've said it for quite a while now. The Monster Reborn is fine. It can come back. It's not a problem. It's a very good card. It's a very good card, and we're slightly going down the route of having cards that everyone plays in their deck regardless. Now, Konami don't really like that. Historically, you can see that. They don't like it. But now we've got Monster Reborn, and we've also had Solemn Judgment, that cards, you can just put these two cards in your deck and they're extremely powerful in pretty much anything that you do. Even Solemn Judgment as a one-off, and it's the only trap you're playing. If you're playing like a Glass Cannon deck, for example, that Solemn Judgment might win you that game because it might stop whatever they try to do to stop your combo and your attacks and whatever. The Monster Reborn is still an incredibly good card. I think it's fine. I don't think it needs to be hit. And I know a lot of people will disagree with me. And I know that, you know, I'm a little bit old school with Monster Reborn, and I think that it should have been unbanned quite a while ago. But it can never go above 1, in my opinion, because then it becomes a little bit too ridiculous. The card is powerful. It's a free special summon from your graveyard and your opponent's graveyard. I realise that that's powerful. Everyone realises that that's powerful, but it's fine. Like, it's a nice card to have. It's a nice out. It means that top decks become a little bit more salty if you do top deck it and win with it. But that's just the nature of the game, because it would be really funny. And I have to see this. I really want to see this. Someone activate Monster Reborn, then someone activate Solemn Judgment in response, because that would just be like, oh, hello, old school formats. This looks very familiar. Also, if someone activate Monster Reborn would totally awesome. That'd be a bit disgusting, but why would anyone do that? Monster Reborn, very good card. I think it's fine to come back, and I think it was pretty obvious that it was going to come back, considering how much Konami are pushing this Lost Arts promotion, where Monster Reborn is getting its OCG art available in the TCG, and I just think that it was going to be kind of obvious they were going to unban it, considering that one of the flagship brand new promotions that they're really pushing is a card that only collectors can really make use of, or unless you're, you know, just playing a really casual format. But I digress. I think it was obvious we should have known this was coming, and I kind of did have a feeling about it, but obviously I wasn't making any videos, so that just looks like I'm lying now, but I kind of knew it was coming. So anyway, want to know what you guys think of Monster Reborn. Do we think it's a good card these days in 2018? You know, it has been limited and banned for a long time for us. Do we think it is a good card, or do we think it's just not really going to make the impact that we all think it is, because there are better cards out there? So as I said, let me know down in the comment section below. Make sure to give me a like and subscribe, and I shall catch you guys later.